Okay, first, welcome everybody, and thank you for your commitment and participation in standardization for the DoD, and it's a very important role. Standardization definitely plays a key role in advancing technology. Recently, or May 2023, the U.S. government released the U.S. government national standard strategy for critical emerging technologies. This is a key document in advancing the technology and incorporating it into DoD systems. Standardization is definitely an essential part of interoperability, and over the next few days, you'll hear all about standardization and advancing technologies. Let's see. Okay, so this year's conference talks about, like I said, advancing technology, and it gives me the opportunity to touch on these: the importance of standards, providing policy guidance and training, and how you can help. So this is kind of my agenda, and I'll walk through these bullets. Okay, as I said, the U.S. government released the U.S. government national standards strategy that renews the United States commitment to international consensus-based standards, encourages participation with the private sector in standards development, and also ensures that it wants to ensure that international standards are established on a technical merit basis. So this is a key document for the U.S. government. Oh, what happened? Okay, so along with that, you can see the MISHU released the National Defense Science and Technology Strategy, and in there, it reinforces the need for technology standards to advance technology. So key documents that have come out over the last couple of years. So the White House released the Critical Emerging Technologies list, and the DoD uses that list and looks across all of these technology type areas, and standardizations will help shape how we incorporate that technology into defense systems, right? Standardizations will continue to define and drive the market in the future, and incorporating technology advances requires standards, data, formats, and interfaces, and you'll probably hear me say a lot of that over the next few slides. So standards started back in 1952. Happy to say that I was not born in when that was around, so standards is older than me. So, but you know, in the 1990s, we definitely moved away from military standards, and we used greater use of performance and commercial-based standards. And I was in a program office, and that was a major event for us in the program office, was to move away from those military standards and to try to use more commercial standards. But so we're moving towards that, and we have been moving towards that. The Defense Standardization Program Office, Defense Standardization Program Instruction 2140-24. We updated that and was released in 2022. The manual that follows that is still under revision, but we hope to get that out soon. We have the DMSMS, Diminishing Manufacturing Sources and Material Shortage Management. That came out in October 2022, and the guide followed that, SD 26. We do have a new SD 25 document that was released in November 23rd, and that's for the guide app. So we are continuing to work to get guidance out there. And one of my main goals is to make sure that we keep that documentation and guidance up to date. Documents tend to grow stale fast. One of my initiatives is to keep that document, policies and guidance up to date. Okay, DoD Instruction 5097, Digital Engineering, came out in December 2023. Congress has been pushing us to put out instructions and guidance in digital engineering, and we were able to put that out in 2023. So what that does, it now requires programs to start off using digital engineering, right? There's a caveat in there that we understand programs that are in the process and development cycle, trying to push them to use digital engineering concepts as much as possible, but using that, it definitely will start using programs early and that have just started in their development. So, so this is going to help modernize how we design, develop, and test, deliver, and operate sustained systems. It relies on standards, data, formats, interfaces between models and simulations. So DE, digital engineering, moves the primary means of communication from documents to digital means. So this requires the application of standards for interoperability, compatibility of modeling and simulations. So all of that creates a need for standards in the digital format. So, we need standards in a digital format. So DSP has an initiative to keep moving from these paper-based products to machine interpretable and machine usable in the future. And I'll show you some of the efforts we have along this process. But, in the past, they've been paper. We're trying to move to, we've moved to PDF. We have some initiatives to go to XML and some piloting in there. And we're in the process, and we have released our first DID for a model, digital model, and I'll show you that in a later slide. So one of the efforts we have, especially the engineering office in my office, the SCNA office, teamed with the airport to model a DID for failure modes effect in critical analysis, FMICA. So this DID went from a human readable to a representation to a machine readable in SysML. So SysML is the modeling language used in MBSE. And so we developed that DID. I think everybody understands the whole contracting process. If a CDRL is a development, a CDRL is a deliverable for a prime contractor. The DID is the format of that deliverable. So this DID now requires, if they put it on contract, requires the prime contractor to deliver this machine readable SysML model. So big step in trying to move from the paper to the machine usable process. So this was a pathfinder. We have more pathfinders in the works, and we're looking also for other ways to publish standards in machine readable formats. Okay. So one of the areas we are focusing on is MOSA, right? So DepSecDef has an interest in MOSA, and we have to report out to DepSecDef on a monthly basis on how we're doing with moving to standards that support or enable MOSA. So that's an ongoing process. We have the MOSWIG, which is a driver for bringing together the entire community. We're looking at all of these repositories. Each one of the services has a repository. We're trying to bring that repository and bring those MOSA enabling standards into Assist. So in Assist, we're using one of those areas that they're going to tag these MOSA enabling standards. It's called MOSS, Module Open Systems Specification, I think. But we're going to tag these MOSA enabling standards in Assist. So now everybody will be able to sort those standards and get a list of those MOSA enabling standards. So we have a number of standards that are going through the process. As you know, the process requires those to go out for formal coordination. I think we have about 4 or 5 out there for formal coordination. We have a number of other standards in the process to get those adopted into the DoD and then tagged in Assist so that then they'll be searchable. One of the other things we're doing is we federated with the DISR. So now Assist and DISR are federated. DISA is where all of the IT type standards are. So those two systems now are complementary of each other. So participation, DoD participation in standards. So we have a lot of information. Congress has given the authority for DoD to participate in standards. So there's a lot of information out there. DISPO has a document, SD9. There's a memo out there that from one of my predecessors in my office, strengthening the need for DoD participation in these non-government standard bodies. So there's a big effort to do that. But I understand all of this is other duties as assigned, and every government person knows that okay, I want to do it, but sometimes you just don't have the time. But it's very important for us to move into standards. So these are the type of standards. This is kind of a notional just overview of standards. But we look for performance-based, widely supported. We're avoiding any technical barriers in there. We want standards that don't that prevent vendor lock. We don't want to have proprietary type standards in there. And then that's describe data. So as I said, we standards, data, formats, and interfaces is what we need. So we have a number of communities. You can see all these communities. You can participate in any one of these. We have a MOSA community, software engineering, digital engineering. All of these, look at standards and have a whole community associated with those. So a lot of those are hosted at DAU. We have DEMS. We have a DBOK. So there's another community out there. If you just Google DE-BOK, you'll find that community. And they look at digital engineering, bringing those standards into digital engineering. We have a whole effort on SysML, trying to move SysML from version 1.0 to version 2.0. So a lot of efforts going on in each one of these communities. Training. So we have training at DAU. The DSP program has training. I understand yesterday you had training programs here at the conference, and they were well attended, which is very good because we need people to understand standards, how to use them, and how to develop them. So that's good. Scholarships and all that stuff, we have a whole effort trying to get people into the Department of Defense. We have SMART, we have DCTC, CyberCore, and Cyber Scholarships, trying to get those key individuals into the department so that they can help us with advancing technologies and that. So a lot of different programs across the department. So one of the things I've been doing since I took over the job is trying to put out these info sheets. And so we have a number of these info sheets. You can see here that there's 5 of them up there. I think there's probably 10 of them overall. But one of the main things I'm trying to do is get information to the people that need it, right? That's the hard thing, is to make sure that we get that information flow down to the people in the program office. I remember a long time ago when I was in a program office, I was starved for information and I didn't know where to get it. So I'm trying to make sure that those people that come into the program offices have all of this available information, have all the guidance, have the training, all of that. So that's been a major push in my office. Okay. So one of the things, what can you do? So be an active participant in standards development, right? This is the key. We need people to get involved in standards, making sure that we have the right standards. So, so we need to develop that education and training. So we need the resources and that stuff to develop those people so that they have the training and can participate in the standard development. Engage in the evolution of standards, right? Tools and practices. Standards, technology changes over time, standards need to change over time, right? We need to go from that paper-based to the machine usable. So we need to be following technology. Technology is always going to be in front of us because technology moves at a rapid pace, but we need to be making sure that we're in a position then to support those new technologies with standards. And select the standards to achieve program goals, right? We need to make sure that the DoD adopts the right standards, right? So the DoD has the whole adoption program process that goes through ASSIST. We only adopt those that meet our needs. So we need to make sure we select those right standards that meet our program needs. So one of the things I also wanted to mention is advanced manufacturing, right? So advanced manufacturing is a huge area, and it's on the DepSecDes radar as well. So we're trying to, not only with MOSA, we're tagging those MOSA enabling standards, we're also looking at maybe tagging those standards that are going to help with advanced manufacturing. So that's all I had. So I guess I will open this up for questions. How do we handle questions, Michael? Do you have a microphone?
We don't have any online questions at this time.
No. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody.